All right, let's set the scene for Luke 17 to 5:10. You've got Jesus surrounded by his closest followers, the disciples. They're on the road, making their way toward Jerusalem. Tensions are rising, and every conversation feels weighty. Now, just before this passage, Jesus has been talking about forgiveness. He's making it clear that his followers should forgive. Not just once, but over and over. Even if someone wrongs you 7 times in one day, the disciples are floored. They're like, whoa, that's a tall order. So, they turn to Jesus and say, increase our faith. And that's where Luke 17 to 5:10 picks up. But before we jump into what Jesus says, let's pause and ask, why does this matter? In the world of first century Israel, faith wasn't just about believing certain things. It was about trust, loyalty, sticking with God, even when things got tough. The disciples aren't asking for more faith to perform miracles or look impressive. They're overwhelmed by the radical way Jesus is calling them to live, full of grace, forgiveness, humility. So, how does Jesus respond? He tells them, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mulberry tree, be uprooted and planted in the sea, and it will obey you. That's a wild image. A mustard seed is tiny, like really tiny. You don't need a mountain of faith. Even a speck is powerful when it's real. It's a way of shifting the focus. The disciples think they need more faith, but Jesus is saying it's not about quantity. It's about trusting God with what you have, no matter how small it seems. Then, Jesus tells a story about a servant. Imagine a servant who's been out working all day in the fields. When he comes in, does the master say, kick back and relax, I'll serve you dinner? Nope. The servant is expected to keep serving until the job is done. It sounds harsh, but Jesus is making a point. Following him isn't about earning rewards or recognition. It's about doing what's right, simply because it's right. The disciples, and honestly, all of us sometimes want a gold star for doing the hard stuff. But Jesus reminds them that serving God is about humility. It's about showing up, forgiving, loving, trusting, even when it's tough. So, when you hear Luke 17 to 5:10, remember, faith isn't about having it all together or being superhuman. It's about taking the next step, however small, and trusting God with the rest. That's what Jesus was teaching his disciples, and it's still true for us today. Faith, like a mustard seed, doesn't measure big, it trusts deep. It roots itself in God and obeys, even in small ways. Not for applause, but because it is good. And that changes us more than any spotlight ever could. So hold on to what you have, no matter how small. Plant it, practice it, trust God with the growth. Because in God's hands, even the smallest faith can do more than you imagine.